about a family feud that happened when I was in my late 20s. Mom? Hello? What's the matter? Calling me at work.
Yuri, your father!
What? One day, my father, who had been in good health until then, suddenly died of cerebral hemorrhage. I couldn't grasp what happened from the suddenness of it all. But my mom was devastated more so than I was, so much so that she was in a stupor. They were a loving pair who got along very well, so our grief was unimaginable. Yeah, I had to be strong here. I had to support her.
So the arrangements after this.
Yes, let's see. Then...
Huh? Is this Tachibana-san's funeral?
Yes. Who could that be? Do I have a relative like that?
Well then, may I burn incense to my father, too?
What? Suddenly, a woman I had never seen before called my dad father. What? What do you mean? Did you just call him father? Could this person be Dad's mistress's child?
Yuri, what's wrong?
No, it's nothing.
Yeah?
I'm sorry. Please join the general guests for today. We can talk about it in detail a later day.
Huh.
Yuri, who was that?
It looks like the daughter of one of Dad's acquaintances. Don't worry about it and get some rest over there. No way! If my mom runs into her under these conditions, I can't let her find out no matter what.
Hey, Yuri.
Oh, Uncle.
About Tachibana. I'm sorry to hear.
This is my father's brother, Hideki-san. My father's family runs a long-established inn that's been passed down for generations. They're brothers, but they didn't get along very well with my father because of their opposite temperaments. I'm sorry it's been chaotic. It happened so suddenly that my mother and I couldn't sort out our feelings.
Oh, more importantly, her. Shouldn't we let Azami-san burn incense as a relative too?
Azumi-san! Uncle, do you know her?
Yeah, I heard about her from Tachibana. He said, I have a child in hiding and I don't know what to do. I contacted her too, so she can at least send him off.
No! So Dad was... But he was so in love with Mom! How could he have cheated on her? I'm sure he didn't get along with my uncle. There's no way he would talk to him about such an important matter! That story...
Wait, could you tell me more about that, Hideki-san?
Mom! Oh no! Mom? You know what? No, this is...
It's fine, Yuri. There's no way he had a child in hiding. I trust him. Now, Hideki-san, I'm going to ask you to tell me everything you know.
Sure, I'll tell you everything.
And Hideki-san started talking about her. Apparently, that woman Azumi is my dad's illegitimate daughter with a different mother that had disappeared, and that she is residing in the mother's family home with her grandparents. She claims that if we give her part of the inheritance, I won't reveal her identity and step down gracefully.
Think about it. She isn't getting treated as a relative even though that's her father. Don't you feel sorry for her? Maybe it's a good idea to just give her the inheritance and pretend we never even met.
What?
So he just wants the inheritance? But still, why would my uncle go that far?
Looks like you heard a lot of details from my husband.
Yes, well, he is my brother after all. I told her about it from my side as well. It's been quite troublesome.
So, do you know the date of birth of that person named Azumi?
Date of birth? As I recall, it was the 19th of August, 1995.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's strange. If we assume that the girl was conceived 40 weeks before that, my husband was working abroad at the time.
Huh?
Right, when I was little. He went abroad for 3 years.
And at that time, he was about 6 months into his assignment. My husband did not return home once that first year. So that would mean that he got that girl's mother pregnant while he was abroad alone.
Well, that's true.
My husband was sent to a Muslim country with strict commandments. It is unlikely that the mother of the child could have followed him into the country alone.
Well, then maybe I got the date wrong. Besides, it was my brother who told me, so it could be incorrect.
I'm sure you could find out that much with a little research.
Anyway, we'll talk about this another day. I'll leave you guys to it for now.
Come back the day before tomorrow. Yuri, you were trying to keep it to yourself earlier, weren't you?
Yeah, I just thought it wasn't something you wanted to hear right now.
Right, but this is no time to be downhearted.
What?
I've heard so much about Hideki-san from your father. I can't stand by and watch someone dishonor the deceased. I need your help too, Yuri. We'll get your father's vengeance together.
Okay. She looked like a crippled moments before this. Now she's back to being the strong mom she's always been. But still, if she's not Dad's illegitimate child, I wonder who this Alimony person is. And 3 days later...
I apologize for my husband's actions, Mr. Grief. I am so sorry. My son witnessed the exchange between you two and my husband. I've come today to apologize on behalf of him.
It was Hideki-san's wife, Sasuji-san, who came to visit us.
Raise your head, Sasuji-san. I know you're not at fault.
Auntie, do you know who that Azumi person is?
No, it's just... Actually, I do have an idea.
I see. Then Sasuji-san, I need your help with something. Could you help us?
Yes, of course. If there's anything I can do to help.
Sasuji-san? Mom, what are you doing? The next day. Yes? Azumi-san!
Calling me from Hideki-san's phone through Sasuji-san. What is this all about?
Yes, thank you for coming all the way here.
So this is what you asked Sasuji-san to do. But why?
Hideki-san told me about your situation. I sympathize, but you are not my husband's child. Take a look at these passport records. There is no way he could have met your mother.
Give up the act already. Hideki-san told me. He told me that you made it so that I couldn't see my father. Do you know what I've been through because of you?
If you still can't accept it, I don't have a choice. Let's get a DNA test as soon as possible. That will take care of it.
Yes, please do that. If that proves I'm related, I'm taking the whole estate. I've been through so much bitterness. I deserve that much, don't I?
Yes, I can promise you that.
Mom!
You said it. I don't care even if you regret it later.
My mother collected a fingernail and a few rooted hairs from Azumi-san and sent them along with the hairs on my father's pillow and his hat to a DNA testing company. Well, what if she's actually Dad's child?
We'll think about that then. But don't worry, I told you before, didn't I? I trust your father. Besides, I have a pretty good idea who that Azumi person is.
What?
She's actually...
What? What? And the day finally came.
Dad, Mom wants to have a talk with you about something important in private.
In private? Oh dear. What is it? Hey, Tsutsuji. What talk? What? What's going on here? Azami-san, what is this?
These people want to settle something with you and I.
What? Even Auntie?
Oh, you know, Kaorin-san and Sasuji-san called me.
This is Yasuria-san, my great-aunt who is the aunt to my dad and Hideki-san. She's also the one in charge of the inn.
Well, have a seat. It's going to be a long story.
Yes.
By the way, Hideki, are you sure the girl is Tachibana's?
Yes. That's what he told me.
I see. Karin-san, show him. Yes. We've done a DNA analysis on the fingernails and hairs that Azumi-san left with us when she visited our house the other day.
What? Why did you?
Because this wasn't getting anywhere.
That doesn't mean you can do it on your...
Quiet! We're in the middle of a conversation. This is the result of the relationship between my husband and Azumi-san. As you can see, my husband is clean. His parent-child relationship with Azumi could not be recognized.
No way! Then who?
That can't be true! I was consulted by Tachibana himself! How can you really rely on something like that in the first place? You might have made it all up!
Let's quit it, honey.
What?
I had samples from your toothbrush tested as well.
Why would you do that?
Hideki, 25 years ago, do you remember Akane-san who worked here as a maid?
What? Akane?
Oh no!
Don't tell me you've forgotten. At that time, there was an employee who suspected a relationship between you and Akane. So I asked Akane about you in person.
What?
Well, I guess she got cold feet because she confessed right away. I gave her some money as severance pay before Sasuji-san would hear about it. I didn't think she had a child in her belly, though.
No way.
Here's the proof, Azumi-san.
The parent-child relationship between me and Hideki-san is 99% confirmed?
That's right. Azumi-san wasn't my dad's child, but a child born to Hideki-san and a former employee of his.
You asshole!
Oh! Wait! Calm down!
Shut up, you liar! So that's why you came to me and asked me to give you a part of the inheritance. The money was just an afterthought. Your real intention was to force me onto your brother out of convenience. Isn't that right?
No!
What Yasuria-san had been hiding about Akane-san. I had a feeling, but I pretended not to see it. But I can't forgive you, including this time. I'm divorcing you.
Wait, Satsuchi! Let's talk!
Oh, and we can't keep people here who tarnish our family name any longer. Therefore, even if we part ways, Sasuji-san will remain as a proprietress and eventually Tokusa will take over the reins. You will leave here and make amends for the way you treated your daughter for the rest of your life.
No! Please forgive me!
Shut up! Give me my alimony now, you scum!
This has been a painful situation for Azumi-san and Sasuji-san, but we were able to clear my father's name. A lot has happened before we even had time to grieve, I guess.
Yeah, Sasuji-san said that she'll do her best with her son, and Azumi-san's father was alive, who she thought was dead, so it's sad that he's gone, but I'm glad we were able to do everything we could for him in the end.
My mom started working part-time and even started playing golf, keeping a positive outlook on life. I also got married and now have 2 children. Sasuji-san and the others are still busy running the inn. I don't know what happened to my uncle and Azumi-san after the divorce, but apparently he continues to give her money on a regular basis. He lied to her and tried to pin the blame on my father, so I think he deserves that much. And my great-aunt Yuzuriya-san is still alive and well. I have a feeling she's still going strong. Although it was a huge debacle that involved a lot of people, now that things have settled down, I sometimes think about it. If Dad didn't ascend to heaven and saw what happened instead, I'm sure he wouldn't have been able to rest in peace.
You asshole!
And one more thing. Like my dad and mom who believe in each other from the bottom of their hearts, I hope we can be that kind of couple.
What?
Nothing.
ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。たとえ事実と異なっていることだったとしても死人に口なし、後からどうとでも言えますもんね。遺産のことだとかそういうことしか考えてないから平気で嘘とかつけるんでしょうね。しかし旦那さんの無実をしっかり確かめることができてよかったです。長年寄り添ってきた夫婦なのですから疑う余地もないと信じられる関係性も素敵だと思いませんか？私もそんな方と共に過ごせたらいいですね。皆さんはどう感じましたか？コメント欄に書いていただけると嬉しいです。また、浮気ダメ絶対と思った方、チャンネル登録と高評価をお願いいたします。